And all right, so everyone come have a seat. Make sure you know where your weights are so they don't get under your feet. You don't trip or anything on them. Bare feet and weights can be a problem. I'm going to mute everybody so that we don't have any kind of a problem with that. All right. So it's funny, I've been seeing a lot of this theme lately. My husband has this habit, he likes to watch The Twilight Zone. You guys remember The Twilight Zone?
Yeah.
So, I don't know why you guys aren't unmuted. There was a Twilight Zone about there was some power surge. And a child said, oh, it's aliens and they've come, they don't want you to be able to move around. And they look just like us, these aliens. And of course, everyone starts looking for an alien. And one fellow works in his basement at night. He has a ham radio. Oh, you must be it. And one fellow likes to walk at night and look at the stars. Oh, you must be it. And until they were all, you know what happens. Everybody is against everybody else. And in the end, the actor says, in the end, they destroy each other, one to the other, one to the other. And that's a metaphor for how we look to separate ourselves from each other and how that doesn't work so great, either by skin color or religion or, now it could be even a political party. Can you imagine? I mean, I couldn't imagine this before. But if we can start to set our intention to see each other as community, as connection, and it doesn't matter where we come from or what we have or how we voted, maybe we could really try to see each other as community and connection. So sit up nice and tall, draw the tip of your chin back and the bottom of your shoulder blades down. Make sure there's a width across your chest so you're sitting taller than you ever thought you could. Close your eyes, which is very difficult, I know, and come to your breath. Yeah. So I want you to notice your breath first. Notice how deep or shallow it is. Notice how quick it is, the rhythm of your breath. And now start to deepen your breath. That's the first thing we have that we can always control, is the way we breathe. And when you start to breathe nice and deep from the bottom of your pelvic floor all the way up to the crown of your head, and you exhale for the same amount of depth, the same amount of time, your nervous system calms. And then we can maybe catch ourselves in a thought, catch ourselves in a reaction. I want you to close off the back of your throat like you're making an aspirant sound, like a ha sound, like making the sound of an H. So that when you exhale, you can hear that in your ears. So I want this depth of your breath, this aspirant sound to guide you in the practice, even though this practice today is more about our physical body than my typical yoga, than classical yoga is. A strong body supports a strong mind. When you feel good and you support your immune system, then it's easier to catch ourselves and see ourselves as community. Slowly open your eyes and extend your arms to T. Keep your shoulder blades back and make some circles with your arms. Let's just start warming up our shoulders. Circles, making them smaller in a forward direction. And then start circling them bigger. Keeping the shoulder blades hugged together. Try not to jerk your body too much. Stay in control. No flopping around, no jerking around. Yeah, And then take your arm bones back a little bit more. And maybe circle your arms a little quicker. Yeah. And now you're going to take your arms in the opposite direction. Take your arm bones back so you can feel the shoulder blades hug together and start feeling the warmth in your upper body. Yeah, we don't want to mess with that, right? Yeah. Good. Circle, circle, circle. Good. Can you take some breaths here? Good. And release your arms. Now take your elbows back and across your body. Exhale. Inhale, elbows back. Exhale, bent elbows over your head. And then inhale. Exhale, cross your body. Inhale. Exhale. Like a revelation, you inhale, open your heart, exhale. What am I thinking? And then inhale and exhale. Where did that thought come from? So I'm going to have you exhaling now through your mouth for most of the practice today. And every time you exhale, I want you to draw your belly back so that everything we do engages your core. Make it effortful. Every pose is effortful to the edge. That's how it becomes transformative, is if you come all the way to that edge. We're just going to take one more. Good. Oh, yeah. Twist to your right. Take your left hand to your right knee. Oh, and just get a nice stretch here. Feeling how your left ribs move to the right and just noticing where you're at right now. Inhale back to center, and then exhale the other way, looking over your left shoulder. Oh, yeah. And then inhale all the way back to center, and then make your way to table pose, hands and knees. And let's just do some cats and cows while we're here. Exhale and inhale, lowering your belly toward the floor. Big flexion and extension of your spine, doing it in such a way that you're really conscious in your mind's eye of your spine. Close your eyes, exhale, see your belly draw back. Inhale, keeping the engagement of your belly, lower it. Now, if you want, you can curl your toes under and take your hips back. Just take your hips back and just see how it feels. So take your hips back. Just your hips, like your bum toward the arm. Good. Just take your bum back. Good. And then come back to a neutral spine. Good. Extend your right leg directly out to the right and step your right foot to the floor. Inhale and circle your arms all the way up. So you're going to press your feet down. Imagine your thigh bones are beautiful granite pillars reaching down. And from the center of the pelvis, you come all the way up. So you're really grounded. Stay all the way up. Exhale stay all the way up. Take your right hand down your right leg. Right hand down your right leg and all the way over. Then with a big inhale, come all the way to center. Exhale now to your left. Now your left hand can hover, or you can land, or you can take a block. And then we're going to continue like this. Slowly inhale all the way up to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. And exhale to your left. Oh, yeah. All the way. Whatever your edge is. Take one more right and left, listening to your breath. So we're just preparing our body for the movements that's coming up. And then one more time to the left. Very slowly, very mindfully. And then come back to center. Inhale. As you exhale, tip forward from the top of your pelvis and make sure you're on the tiptoes of your back left foot, notice. And then you're going to take your hips back, sitting back towards your left heel, and then soften your chest toward the floor. Now, widen your hands a little wider, much wider than your shoulders. Press your fingerprints down and imagine they're stuck. I just glued them there, and you're trying to pull them back. But you can't pull them back because they're stuck. but muscularly going to draw them back, and you're going to feel a nice stretch in your back. Those muscles get very weak in our life because we don't strengthen them, and they get long and loose. So I want you to really feel that in the back shoulder blades. Big, full breath. Yeah. Then make your way all the way back to center and step your right foot just outside your right hand. Step your right foot down so that your right shin is perpendicular to the floor. Press your right foot down and then take your right arm all the way out to the right into a nice big twist. Now lean back, open it up. You're opening up your heart. I'm inviting you to open your heart up so much that we see how we separate ourselves from one another. And we're going to try not to do that. So lean back, lean back. Exhale your right hand back to the floor. And now you're going to come into a lunge. You're going to lift your back left knee up. Just lift and lower your left knee. And then keep your left knee lifted and lift and lower your hips. So lower your hips, look forward, Ellery. Lift and lower your hips, good. And then step your left foot forward beside your right, forward fold. Take your hands to the front of your ankles. Inhale, take the back of your head back, shoulder blades back, and come all the way up, shoulder blades back and down. And then exhale and fold forward. Good. So this is coming from the front of your pelvis. You don't want to round your back. Inhale all the way up. Exhale. This is as much for your core as it is for your breath. Exhale. Inhale, shoulder blades back. Last one. Exhale, make it edgy. Remember, you want to find where you are right now. And all the way back. And now we're going to start preparing for our weights. So I want you to step out to the right, arms out to T, and then exhale and just step back behind you. Inhale and exhale. So let's just warm up. Yeah, move it like we're dancing. Dance. So you're pulling something in, and you can even push something out. I want you to find your rhythm of your breath. This is dancing with our breath, dancing with our community. Good. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And now I want you to step your feet a little bit wider, take your arms up over your head, and then as you exhale, you're going to lift your right knee up and release. Inhale. Exhale your left knee. Got it? Inhale. Now we're going to find it more rhythmic. Exhale as you lift. Ready? Good. It's more challenging, but it should be quite doable. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and good. Now stand nice and tall. Inhale, circle your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look halfway up and step back. Exhale all the way to plank. So Charlie, I don't know if you've practiced yoga before. This is called plank, where your hips are lower than your shoulders. Your chest reaches forward and you gaze forward. And just notice your breath here. Every time you're here, every second you're here, strengthens your body. Take one more big full breath. Knees can be up or down, by the way. And then lower your knees, lower your hips, lower your chest, lower, 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 all the way onto the mat, remember? Now, take your hands beside your upper ribs. I want you to lower your chin to your chest. Then you're going to slide your chest forward and up, lifting up your chest, chin down. And the last thing to lift is your chin as you come all the way up. This is a cobra. Oh, nice back bend, maybe side to side like a snake, like a serpent. Ah, nice. And then make your way back through table and into down dog. All the way into down dog. Good. Now I want you to roll your bum up. Imagine your bum is rolling up and your legs are lengthening nice and long. You want to avoid rounding your back. Good. And now I want you to walk your dog. You're going to come onto the tiptoes of your right foot and then your left. You're going to get into those peroneal muscles in your shins and move with your breath. Yeah, yummy. Good. Then make your way back to dog and lower your knees back to the floor. Back to table, shoulder blades together, heart soft. Extend your left leg all the way out to the left. Step your left foot down. Inhale and circle your arms all the way up. Did you hear that breath? I hope. Now take your left hand down your left leg and reach all the way over. Inhale back to center. Exhale now to the right, and either you'll land or you won't, it doesn't matter. But just notice. And then find your breath in this rhythm. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Can you hear your breath? Good. Take one more on each side, slowly and carefully, with control. And then let's meet back in the center. And now you're going to tip from the top of your pelvis and take your hands to the floor. With your back, right toes tipped under. I want you to make sure you're on the tiptoes of your back right foot. You're going to take your hips back towards your right heel. But reach your chest forward. Soften your head to the floor. Widen your hands. Press your fingerprints down. Imagine I glue them there and you're pulling them back. And then soften your chest toward the floor. So you'll feel the scapula, those angel wing bones, hugging to your spine, strengthening your back. Big full breath. Good. And then make your way back to center. Step your left foot just outside your left hand. Step your left foot down. And extend your left arm out to the left, opening it up. Lean back like you're opening your heart. Parker, you're on the screen. Lean back, good. Good. Exhale, gaze down, take your left hand to the floor. And now you're going to come into a lunge, lifting up your back right knee. Lift and lower your hips. Try to avoid rounding your back. Good, good. And then step your right foot forward beside your left. Come back to that forward fold. It should feel completely different now. And then inhale, circle your arms up, all the way up. Circle your arms up. Grab your left wrist and lift. Exhale to the right. Oh, yeah. Inhale back to center. Grab your right wrist, lift. So you want to feel all that length from the right side of your waist and all the way to the left. Ugh. And all the way to the center. Open your heart. Bring your palms together and grab some weights. So I'm going to grab 5 pounds because we're going to go into an intense series. You might want 2 pounds, 3 pounds, no pounds. You decide. Shoulder blades now are back and hugging together. Ready? Ready? You're going to step into your right foot and take your left foot behind you, but take your right outer hip back and behind you. So you're going to roll it to the back of your body and out. And we're going to start with biceps. I want you to lower and lift the biceps. And then you're going to take them out. You're going to make like a W with your body. Exhale to lift. Exhale through your mouth. Good. Continue just like this. Now, if you want to go a little quicker, it's fine, but just breathe it. Ready to count to 8? From 8, 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, good, 3, 2, maybe go a little lower, and 1, good. And then come back to center. Now you're going to bend your elbows so that there's a 90-degree angle in your elbows. Keep your feet quite slightly wider and bend your knees so that your shins come forward and your bum draws back. Now, as you exhale, you're going to lift like we're doing that chicken dance, right? This is for those little calf muscles. Ready? And you're going to lift and lower your hips. Exhale. Can you hear that chicken dance music? So your elbows stay at 90 degrees, Charlie. Don't straighten your arms, Charlie. Keep your elbows bent at 90 degrees. Good. 90-degree angle, guys. Now, if you want to go faster than me, feel free to do so. Ready to count? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Now, narrow your stance. Step into your left foot and take your right foot behind you, bending your knees. So let's really set ourselves up. Make sure you're nice and steady. Left hip back and out. Good. But this time, shoulders. So you're going to take the shoulder blades back together and extend up. Cindy, are you here today? I don't see her. Okay, good. So if you have any, oh, Susie, okay. If you have a shoulder issue, you're going to pull it up like this. So you can go pulling it up or pushing it up. These are pretty big muscles. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back to center. Let's just kind of make circles with your arms, releasing it. Yeah. Take your weights to your hips and just roll the shoulder blades back. But now we're going to do that again. Again, if this is getting to be too much, release your weights. You don't need any weight. So you're going to step into your right foot, take your left foot behind you, right hip out and back. Elbows in, biceps. First toward your body and then wide. Maybe you can go a little lower, like you're curtsying to the queen. Good. Can you hear your breathing? Let's start to count. Count with me, guys. 8, 7, 6, you can go faster if you want. 5, as long as you're controlled. 4, 3, 2, last one, guys. Good. Oh, yeah, and back to center. Make sure your shoulder blades are back, elbows at 90 degrees, and chicken dance. Bend your knees, take your hips back, or just stand. But make sure your body's not rocking. None of this. Everything's controlled. Good. Oh, yeah. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. And then step into your left foot, Take your right foot behind you, low as you think you can go. Your hips are going to sit back a little bit, right? And you're going to find what shoulder work works for you. Either way, shoulder blades back. All right, Ellery, I would like you to pull them up. Okay, shoulder blades back. Ellery's going to show you the alternative. Ready? Exhale. Push, push. Press down in your feet. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back to center. Take your weights to your hips, fold forward, and release your weights in front of you. Good. Inhale, look halfway up. Okay, let me put it one. Exhale, fold forward, and step back to plank. Good. Lift your head, Ellery. Good. Make sure your heart is soft, your shoulder blades hug together. My hand is on your belly, it's lifting up. Your knees are either up or down. Just breathe. Now lower all the way onto the floor on your belly. Take your chin down and lift your chest, but your chin is down, so you're looking down. And the last thing to lift is your chin, and come find a big cobra, big up dog. And then make your way into child pose. So you'll come through table, widening your knees, take your big toes together, and just take a rest. But don't get used to this rest because we have to do all that stuff again. But we're going to take a little break from that. So take a breath. Good. Okay, resting time's over. Make your way back through table and into down dog. And then again, I always like to walk my dog. That gets into my shins. Right. Good. Good. And then make your way to dog just by taking your heels toward the floor. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Lift your right leg. Bend your right knee and open it out to the outside. So your knee is aiming out to your right. Take your knee closer to your waist. Take your waist closer to your knee. Then extend your right leg all the way back. Square your hips. Extend long. Lift, lift, lift. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Now, if you should have your weights in front of you, grab your weights. And then I want you to take your weights to your thigh bones. Right? And then come all the way up. Good. You're on your tiptoes, right? Yeah. And you're going to lower a little bit more. A little bit more. So shoulder blades back. Now this time I want you to roll your weights away from you. So your palms are away from your body. You can really feel the shoulder blades hugging together. I want you to feel that. And then all the way out, I want you to make, again, this is another variation for biceps, but you're also strengthening your upper back. So very low. Exhale. Can you hear your belly? Can you draw your belly back and hear your breath? Oh yeah. 8, 7. You can go faster if you want, but I wouldn't go too fast because you don't want to have momentum. 5, 4. Make sure your wrists are aiming away from you. This is a whole different part of your upper arm and back. And 1. Good. Now make your way right into warrior 2. So I want you to take your weights to your hips and open up your hips. Okay? So your right foot is aiming directly forward and shoulder blades back. Come deep into warrior 2. Shoulder blades back. So with your weights in front of you, I want you to take your arms out to T and back. Lighter weights are best here. The lightest weights you have. So make sure they're nice and doable. 8, 7, 6, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now you're going to take your right forearm to your right thigh. You don't even need a weight in your right hand. Make sure you press your forearm down to the right ribs lift. Good. And now you're going to take your left arm in front of you, reach it, and then take your left elbow back and open it up so there's a twist and the shoulder blades back. Let's try that again. Again, exhale, and then inhale, pull it back as far back as it'll go. Ready? So now we're going to do it. Exhale, inhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, yeah, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold it back. Now take your left hand to your left hip and come all the way up. Pivot your feet parallel, so you can turn around, Ellery, and take your heels in. And then let's get into goddess pose. So when you come into goddess pose, your toes are out, but not like a dancer. Make sure your knees are tracking over your second toes. And maybe you can come a little lower. Shoulder blades are back, even if you dip forward a little bit with your pelvis. And we're just going to get into the side of our body. So you can take your right arm outside your right leg or inside your right leg. But as you reach down, you can lift the left weight up and back to center. And we're just going to do 8 to the right. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1, and all the way up. And just notice. Now the other side will be different, and either you will have both weights or you let go of your weight from your right hand. Doesn't matter. Find the side bend. As if it feels like you want to take your low rib to your top of the pelvis. You want to really squeeze it. And your arm can go outside your leg or inside your leg, but make sure you're moving sideways. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice. Now you're going to pivot to warrior 2 on the left, other side of your body. Take your left forearm inside your thigh bone. Now you don't need weight in your left hand. You can let go of your weight, just like Ellery just did. But you're going to take your right hand and reach your right arm forward. Exhale and back. Open it up. Remember, we want to see a bigger picture. We want to remember our inclusiveness. And then exhale and inhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, good. 1, good. Now take your weights to your hips, come up, and now you're going to come into a lunge on your left side, so that now you're at the back of your mat. You can take your back knee, leave it up, or you can take your back knee down to the floor. That's what you want to do that now? Let me take your knee to the floor. Good. And we're going to go back to biceps, remember? Shoulder blades back, out, exhale. So your palms are away from you, and it's a big full movement. You can take your left knee and just leave it on the floor, Lou. Yeah. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, and release your weights to the front of your mat. Step back into table and take some hip circles or come into child pose. Or take some hip circles and then come into child pose. I want you to feel the whole thing. Yeah. Are you guys warming up? Nice and warm? Yeah, good. All right, come into a child pose because we're going to do the whole series one more time. Make sure we get everything. Our shoulders, our back, our chest, our biceps. Then we're going to add triceps and core. Good. Make your way back through table and into down dog. To me, this is a clearing out pose. And walk your dog, always feel free to do that. Good. And then walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands, coming into a forward fold. Yeah, good. Bend your knees deep, make your way into Utkatasana, shins forward, bum back. So I want you to take your shins forward and bum back and circle your arms up. Make sure your feet are hip width apart, bend your knees. Shins forward, bum back, sit into it, sit into it. Oh yeah. So we're getting into our hips by our poses, and I want you to just feel that. Now we're going to do that whole series one more time. So you might want lighter weights or no weights. Awesome. You find your weights, whatever they be. You're going to step into your right foot, take your left foot back. Take your right hip out to the right and then back behind you. And now from here, instead of doing more biceps, we're going to start with our tris. So the shoulder blades are back, elbows are behind us, but the only thing that moves is our forearm. Exhale. Actually, you can even lower your hips, lift and lower, but make sure there's no momentum in your upper body. Triceps are one of those muscles that can be kind of stubborn. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I want you to take your arms back and just imagine you're trying to squeeze the weights toward each other. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just hold it for a breath and come all the way up. Oh yeah. Now just make some hip circles. You should be standing really tall. And all the way around. Good. Again, shins forward, bum back, chicken dance. Elbows are in, forearms are parallel, right? And then exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now step your right foot behind your left hip out and back to the shoulders, right? The big muscle. Now remember, this can be a pull-up or a push-up. Ready? 8, 7, 6, 5, good, nice Ellery. 4, good. 3, 2, 1. Oh, and last one, and release. Then fold forward. Release your weights in front of your mat. Inhale up. Last one, exhale, fold forward, step back to plank. Last time. You can come into up dog and into down dog, or just come to right to down dog, whatever you choose to do. And just be there. Oh, I'm feeling nice and warm. Inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Bend your left knee and open your left hip. So your left knee is going to aim to the left, and you're going to take your left knee close to your ribs, closer to your pelvis. Find that edge. Notice. This is where we change our minds. Extend your left leg all the way back behind you. Lift, lift, lift. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, circle your arms up, and let's just establish ourselves there. Good. Now, tip forward, grab your weights if you want weights. Take your weights to your hips and then come all the way up. Shoulder blades back. Ready? So we did this on the other side, but this time we're going to do triceps once again. And exhale. So if you tip from the top of the pelvis forward, you'll have some gravity that will also make it a little bit more interesting. And I want you to keep your mind on your triceps because those muscles get kind of lazy. Well, they don't get lazy, they just get mushy. Are you breathing? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now you're going to take your arms back and squeeze. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold it. And release. Take your hands to your hips and make your way to warrior 2. So adjust your feet accordingly. Left toes out to the left. Right? Take your left forearm to your left thigh, lifting the left ribs up. And again, you're going to take your right arm out and draw it back. Your belly's engaged always, especially with every exhale. Oh, guess Rhonda got uninvited. I'm going to take her back in. Continue. Good. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then come all the way back up to warrior 2. And again, you're going to take your arms in front of you. Now this might be, you might want no weight here at all because you're going to lift your arms up in front of you and out to the side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Pivot your feet parallel. Take your heels in. Last goddess pose. So let's just do it here, right? And now remember, we did 8 to the side. So find your side here. The thigh bones reach out. Exhale to lower, inhale to lift. Ready? Ready? X, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, ooh, yeah, 1. Then come to center. Other side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah, all the way up. Now you're going to pivot onto your right foot, warrior 2, and then you're going to take your right forearm to your right thigh and extend your left arm. Ready? And pull. Row, row, row your boat. 8, 7, 6, 5. So we got these muscles in more than one way, more than one combination. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now come back up. Come into a lunge on your right foot. Good. And last set of tries, shoulder blades back and tip forward from the top of your pelvis, elbows back. Ready? Now, if you want, you can even press your palms away from you when you press them back. And then when you come back, you move your palms towards you. Ready? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're just going to pulse them behind you. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold it. And release your weights. Step your left foot beside your right, forward fold. And then widen your stance and make your way into a yoga squat. Yeah, great. How you guys feeling? Thumbs up? You feel like we got everything? Yeah, so far. All right, thanks, Al. You're the best. All right, so now I want you to draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug around your back. Oh, yeah. Stay with your breath. And then take your arms behind you, shoulder blades back. Lift your heart. Now, imagine, let's do it this way. This is for Charlie because she's new. I want you to flex your feet. Flex your ankles, that is, and widen your toes. And also already notice that everything's awake. And then you're going to take your heels to the mat and imagine they're pressing down and they're stuck. You planted them and you're pulling them back and you'll feel it all the way in your pelvic floor and your belly. Take your hands to your shins and you can take your arms in front of you or keep your hands on your shins or keep your hands behind you. All good options. Did you get the options, guys? Hands behind you, hands to your shins, arms forward. So as you exhale, you're going to draw back. Now I want you to inhale back. I'm sorry, this is very important. Inhale back, and then exhale. Pull your heels back, but they're stuck. So the pulling of the back of the heels is going to lift you up. Ready? That core muscle. When we strengthen our low belly and our core, we're strengthening our low back. And when you do it carefully, without doing sit-ups or anything that's really crazy, I think whole push-ups are crazy for your shoulders. There's a million ways to work on your core without doing push-ups or sit-ups. 8, 7, remember, keep your heels stuck. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Oh yeah. Let's cross your shins, sitting up tall, and just fold forward, getting a nice stretch in your low back. Just see where you're at. Yeah, close your eyes and think of the people throughout the world, how varied we all are. Yeah, and see if you can look at them in their eyes and say, yes, I am nothing but you. Good. And come all the way up to center. We're going to come back to that pose one more time, but this time you're going to take your hands behind you. Draw the belly back. Exhale your belly back. And then you're going to lift your knees to your chest. Exhale. So there was a study done in a classroom. They were studying the Salem witch trials. I don't know if you read about this. And the teacher said, one of you is a witch. It's up to you guys to find who it is. And they started turning against each other, of course, looking for the witch. And finally, at the end of the class, he looks at the class and he says, there's no such thing as witches. Interesting. Okay, ready? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. And release. And come to seated. You know, let's come all the way to lying on our back. It's really time. Okay, draw your knees to your chest. Oh, take a big few breaths as you make circles with your hips. Oh, yeah. Take your left foot to the floor, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Really open the right hip. You might even press it open with your right hand. And then take your left knee towards your chest. This should feel so good about now. And either grab the back of your thigh bone or the back of your shin. And just get a nice squish here. I like to flex my feet and widen the toes and get the full stretch. See if you can close your eyes and listen to your breath, looking up at the ceiling. Don't look at me, just close your eyes and feel the sensations. It's almost like your body is saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. Good. Then extend your left leg nice and long all the way up to the ceiling, left leg. Take your hands behind your left thigh bone, interlacing your fingers there, and see if you can press the thigh bone forward, but your hands are going to draw it back and down, and you'll get a little deeper in those flexors. Big, beautiful breath here. There we go. Yeah. Then bend your left knee, taking your left foot to the floor. Walk your hips over to the right a little bit. Then take your left knee back towards your chest, same, we're still in the same position. You're going to take your arms to T and twist to your left, and your right foot will just kind of land on the floor. Roll your ribs to the right. Roll your shoulders to the right. Extend your right arm to the ceiling, and you're going to take your right armpit, your right shoulder blade to the floor. So make sure the right shoulder blade's all the way back. And then maybe you'll extend your right arm over your head. If this feels lousy on your shoulder, just bend your right elbow or stay in T. All good options. Because I can't see you, I have to trust that you're doing what's right for you. Big breath. Yum. Tip your chin towards your chest and get a nice stretch in the back of your neck. Yeah, just give it a nice tip, like you're looking down towards your navel. And all the way to center. Ooh, that was delicious, wasn't it? Okay, let's do the same on the left. So now you're going to cross your left ankle over the right thigh and push it open. Just get lots of opening in the left hip. Check in with that big, full Ujjayi breath, that big ribs, your ribs expand. Oh, yeah. And then take your right knee towards you, either grabbing the back of your right thigh or grab your right shin and flex your feet, flex your ankles. When I say flex your feet, I mean your ankles. And widen your toes, making everything awake. And a big, sweet breath. Good. Then extend your right leg all the way up to the ceiling, reaching it forward. So the leg is moving away from you, but you're holding it back with your hands and pressing it down. Big breath. Oh yeah, get into the hamstrings. Into that when we're standing too, but still. Ah. Then bend your right knee, once again, taking your right foot to the floor. Slide your bum to the left just a little bit. Lift your right knee towards your chest, and now you're going to twist to your right, and your left foot's going to land. Roll your ribs to the left. Extend your left arm to the ceiling, taking the left shoulder back, and maybe you'll extend your left arm over your head or out to the side. It depends on your shoulders. But close your eyes and tip your chin down And take some big full breaths here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And all the way back to center. Oh, gosh. Take the soles of your feet together and just kind of roll right and left. Oh, yeah. Now press the pinky side edges of your feet down and imagine they're stuck there and you're pulling them up. One last muscular energy right into the pelvic floor, right into the low belly. Keep that hugging in. So you feel a little contraction in your hips. Keep that. And then lengthen your thigh bones a little longer. And they might come a little lower to the floor. Everything's really working. And then release any tension in your body. Just release. Allow gravity to open your heart, open your hips, open your mind. So you can really look and see what's going on in there. We only know 25% of what's going on in our heads. 75% will always be some mystery. Now walk your shoulder blades together and your chest will lift a little bit. Exhale through your mouth as you extend your right leg out toward the right, your left leg toward the left. And into the final and most important and most difficult pose, Shavasana, corpse pose. Allow any tension you feel to release into the earth. Your fingers curl from the effortlessness of it. Your skull and shoulder blades are dead weight into the earth. Roll your eyes up towards your third eye and notice the thoughts. Follow thoughts, don't follow them. Watch them float by. Let your breath breathe you. And let's just take a 2-minute rest. Start rolling your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, extend your arms up over your head. Exhale through your mouth. Yeah. Draw your knees to your chest and roll to your right side. Just be there for a moment. A moment when you want to say, you're the witch, you're different, you're the Martian. And you start to think, what am I doing here? Right? Make your way to a seat on your mat and bring your palms together to your heart center with your eyes closed. One of the seminal lessons I've learned from my teacher over the last many years is something he's always taught us that says, I'm not you, I'm like you. I'm nothing but you. The light in me honors that light in you and us. Namaste. I'm just going to turn off the recording, guys. I want to thank Ellery and Parker for helping me today.